So, thank you very much, all of you, that you have decided to join this event. I hope there was also this. Don't spoil. Don't spoil. I will do it myself. No worries.
Just test.
Yeah. So let's take this evening really relax because what is added value or extra value providing investor is basically it's huge spoil. So those of you who don't have time, you can dive into your computer or something, because the biggest value what you can bring to whatever company is just to stay normal person. It's really just don't be say something not good word here. So as I talked with one of our Beamline Fund LP, who is like extremely nice person, like extremely, and he revealed once that everybody is saying that like I'm a very good business angel, and I don't get why. And one of the founder who like in our portfolio said, but you are answering my messages. And this is already like a huge difference between the arrogant investor and absolutely brilliant investor. So basically, this is the main point what you should, if you will remember it, that if you start as a business investor, are you daddy or mommy or you are just a business investor, then the main point is just to, and you are already leaving. I just wanted to say you that I have a brilliant friend from Uzbekistan.
You have to go, sorry.
Sorry. Okay, have a nice trip. So, my name is Jana, and I'm working as the early stage investor for already many years, but maybe it's already 10, in different roles. I mean, I was leading different funds, and I'm also a business angel by myself, like personally, and invest with some other people and lead syndicates or manage foreign money and so on and so forth. And this is really what I love, that especially when we come as business angels, we come very early. And we don't need to be babysitters, but I call it just to secure our own investments, that we keep hands or we keep some kind of communication with the teams. And it's always payoffs. So just a little bit about the Beamline, that Beamline was funded in 2021. But before that, of course, like we were already working and we were investing in deep tech and clean tech for many years. So in 2021, we understood that there is enough of deal flow where we could invest as the fund. Our fund is very small. We invest up to 60K. We started with 50K. And now, like by today, we have invested. So the next batch will be closed in next month. But by now, we have invested only, as you see, 1.7 million around. And these companies are already fundraised more than 50 million. And we have already one exit. And we are expecting one more exit. So, and it's again, because it is very early, this is, and we keep the communication and relationship with the teams for rather long. Oi! I mean, I told you, I can do whatever. So yeah, the IO was exited from us. Hello. Because they already made a rather big fundraising from us after us, and then Inion is now preparing. And we are looking for the Renewcast, because Renewcast now got, okay, not now, a year ago, got strategic investor from US, so this is how they landed to US market and just secured one more investment to enlarge their market penetration. So this is about the Beamline, but so today I spoiled everything already, but today we're going to talk about what is the passive and what is like value adding investor. It's nothing bad to be a passive. Very often when you are, for example, in some sort of the syndicates, it's even complicated to become an active investor, because if you are hundreds of them, or like you don't have any, direct contact with the company, or like, especially if you are investing with some big syndicates, international syndicates. So it's just about you, how you choose, like where you want to position yourself. And it also begins from the understanding, like, first of all, like why you are becoming a business angel, and what you want to get from it. Is it only like the profit? Is it some kind of new connections? Is it something what you want to learn from the ecosystem, from the domain? And in this case, you are working with these early stage innovations. So, for example, I know several of the business angels who are basically investing in some certain domain because they want to attach these kind of innovations to their own business. Some of them are just, this is my favorite type of the angels, is the guys who already have enough of the money and enough of the business. Yes, of course, my favorite. But they still, I think that, I don't know, maybe Gils, you later you explain this kind of, but what I feel that they have such an amount of vitality and power in their brain that they cannot just sit in some, I don't know, on some Seychelles and just do nothing. They just want to contribute, but I also think that they have some kind of a point, because they were always very active, but they have a point that they see an incredible potential of the company, and this company is, I don't know, scaling or doing it wrong, and they know how easy it is to fix it. So these kind of investors are sometimes, so they're my favorite because they always have a lot of questions, and they always want to participate. They always ask for the reports and everything. So this I call like my favorite. And this is active investors, but they are very often are those ones for whom they just build up the startup investment portfolio, and it's also absolutely fine. No any judgments. It's just like what you want to do. Or like, for example, as I mentioned, this one of the humblest person I know as an investor, he doesn't interact very much with us, with Beamline, because he doesn't know anything in clean tech. But he decided that he needs an extension of his portfolio. So he just allocated some money and trusted us. So we do stuff, and he's like, oh, okay, report, thank you, that's all. So it's also like on a very different level, like from your tickets, it's absolutely fine, but it's your own decision, and this is how then you start to work. Then we will talk about what does it mean to support the team when it becomes annoying for the team, because I know all these stories, and then like what are these areas or domains like where we as an angels are really the most beneficial. And we also touch upon, but let's see how we go with this, about what is this corporate or advisory board, because of course very often when we start with the investments and there's no institutional investors involved, then teams don't have the official board, But that's very nice to have some kind of advisory board. And as, for example, now very much we work with the deep tech, then in deep tech, I always try to get someone into the syndicate from this scientific domain, so we could create this kind of scientific advisory board. But it's, of course, it's nothing like very official, but it's because everything is changing so quickly, so it's absolutely a necessity to have this direct contact with some professors or some universities if you want to be on the edge with your deep tech investment. And we will talk about the micromanagement, and the boundaries, because founders also should have a boundaries, and you should have a boundaries. So and then we will have some tasks. So let's see how we go. So once again, the black, black tide is you just provide your capital, you do it in the right way, all the signatures are there, everything is there, money transferred, boom. And you just collect the reports and you deliver it to your financial person who is just putting it into archive. And when exit comes, then this financial person is delivering you money. So easy. And then there's another investors who put money and then asks like, okay, I want to help. Please tell me what to do. Please tell me how to do. And I love to have like both on the table, and for the teams it's also, when we talk about the business angels in our reality, then to back some round, even like 100 or like 200 or 300, it means that there will be dozens of investors. And if you can imagine for the co-founder in the early stage when they are like, I don't know, 5 people doing everything, scaling and developing and selling and cleaning the office or cleaning their own home, which is office now, then to answer or to do something for dozens of investors is not very nice. But so it's always nice to have a balance, that you have those ones who just transfer the money and wait for the reports, and those ones who are really coming from these domains, so you can really rely on them and extend your network, extend your experience and some knowledge, or even like, which is like extremely important, is to avoid some silly mistakes. And then when we talk about this passive, or like, it's not a nice word, passive. It's just not super active business angels. So normal one is just they're not involved in the strategy discussions. And I have several of these passive investments, and of course they're like on this our Funderbeam platform. I sometimes vote. So this is my maximum input to the company. But one company is with ice cream, so I'm a very loyal buyer of the ice cream. So that's it. I think that my task is done for my ticket. But there are other business angels who are like really hands-on. And for example, just recently closed MarketDroid investment. I was absolutely amazed by one of their first. He is really the first business angel of the MarketDroid. He was so hands-on, and he helped us to work through some of the challenges during the due diligence process, like when we really wanted to get some financial data in certain way and in certain by certain criteria and so on and so forth. So this business angel, he is really hands-on because he knows the people in the domain and it's his reputation. Plus, of course, it's one of his first tickets, and now it seems like the team, not only seems, but team's doing very well. So we are preparing them for the next round, and I think that this first investor is like, again, he is involved not only because he is a very good investor, but also because he wants to secure his investments. But he was absolutely extremely helpful, and because he was the first one, he really helped the team to get some first strategic partners or customers, and the team really trust him. So it's again for the next investors, he becomes like a bridge for the team. So we could really discuss everything and discuss how we can like format this the team, and how we can how we can approach the management with some certain points what we've seen that needs to be changed for the team really thrive further. So and but again, it's always should be, that's why, as I told, that with this first business angel, we really discussed, because we were coming with David as like newbies, with some dozen of the other business angels who doesn't know how this company was growing. So we really discussed how it's better to approach, so not to violate somehow the team, but really just to be helpful. And so when we were building our own relationship with the team, this first investor was very, very helpful. But again, so this is how you feel, or you try to feel this kind of the boundaries, that you want to help, but you do not go overwhelming that team is like basically serving you your ideas about some advices, because as you know, sometimes like you want to give advice and then you get frustrated that you don't take my advice. And even if one were right, and it's very often investor who, especially if you have a previous experience in the business, you are very often right. But this is the moment when you like separate yourself. Can I touch it, or it will be making something? No, don't touch it? Okay, don't touch it. So it's like when you separate yourself from the company, it's like you are an investor, you are not the part of the company. But of course, what can happen, like happened with me recently, that one of my portfolio companies just, they were really, really hard on me. So I gave up and said, okay, you will have 1 day of my time per week. Because it's again, like if you really start, even if it's like mentoring or advisory becomes like too much, or if they really want something like not only like introductions or some mirroring of some ideas or some opinions, but if they really want too much, then it's also you that you need to distance yourself, or it will become a little bit different contract, not only investor company, but also the partner and the company. So. And it's come down to the point, it's the same like with the kids, that you can always advise them something, but it's better when they ask for advice, or then the value is better. Very often in business you will see, and I think that you know it very well, when the advice is for free, it's just taken as the air. But when the advice is asked, is really wanted, or it's paid for it, then it is taken much more seriously. Yeah, please, have the questions. Otherwise, I will make a lot of the lectures.
For example, it's better for the founders to understand their own mistake before kind of telling them. It's sort of. But what if, in case, let's say, it's a startup that's spending thousands per month in sales strategies or marketing, and you're kind of watching your money being burned because you know why it isn't working and what should be done in a better way. So how do you kind of deliver those news in a, let's say, a respectable way?
Exactly. This is what I told you with this recent experience, that we really were building this kind of the relationship that hey guys, don't do like this. I mean, this is again, it goes down to your ability to be like empathic, and just to try to talk to them, just to try to understand, like, okay, who is the stakeholder, whom they will listen to, how you can approach them. Because if you just call them and say, hey, I've seen your Google ads, they suck, don't do it anymore. It will not help no one.
Is it a normal thing that, for example, in syndicate investments, I know a syndicate member is kind of approaching the lead investor with the news of maybe something that isn't, let's say, up to his appetite, and then the lead investor is the one that's kind of delivering those news?
it's something like in top of my mind that there was something that I learned from others before as the main investor that I learned from the team. But very often I try to be like proactive, and I try to, because as a lead investor specifically, this is another beast in this game, that basically other investors in a vast majority of their like decision-making process, they trusted you as the lead investor. This is how I feel it. Sorry, I always touch it. This is how I feel it as how it should be, that because the lead investor is the person who made the due diligence. Lead investor is the person who is communicating with the team. Basically, yeah. So the good practice is that lead investor should know about the problem before anyone else. So I'm sorry, MarketDroid, love you very much. So on 30th, those of you who wasn't time to invest in MarketDroid, on 30th they will have their first meeting for all investors. For example, this was amazing problem. I love this kind of problems. So they were growing so rapidly, they didn't expect it that they will be grow so rapidly that their own invoicing system crashed. So basically, like in August, because it was just like this, and they were not very brave enough to tell us immediately. But one of David, who is also co-lead with me in this deal, he is the customer of the MarketDroid. So he got this information. So, but of course we were like very fast. Basically, we solved everything in a couple of hours, and we immediately told to all the investors that, hey, we know that this is the problem now, but it's already in the work, so no worries, it will be like everything. So this should be like the best case. If you, as for example, the marketing or science or whatever person sees that the company is doing something wrong, then if you don't have the direct contact, then of course the lead is how you approach. But in the early stage, yeah. So now everything goes through lead. If I think about the business angels, because of course in Beamline we invest the LP money, so it's a little bit different. And this is also extremely important. If there are institutional funds, then basically they should be like super urgent into knowing everything. I was talking about the opinions. Of course, it's nice always to be very conscious about what you're telling, that you are sharing experience, not opinions, because opinions are very subjective. But sometimes, the team is just asking for the mirroring, like what you think about. And it's okay to say, like, okay, I think, in my humble opinion, it is like this. I love to have the video calls or like real meetings with a longer term, and I love to go through the procedure to understand that maybe the picture what I'm seeing now is I just don't get something what is like somewhere why they decided to do it like this, because by the end of the day it's still their business, and this is our business to somehow to make some due diligence and to somehow hope that our decision was right. Because when it's already, on the go, then because we all want, our startups to skyrocket, when the rocket is already launched, then it's very complicated to jump in and to change something in this rocket. But of course you can adapt, but this is also to understand. And I love one of my good friend, business angels. He is always like, okay, I'm going to this board to understand. Either we need to kill the company in 6 months or we get it somewhere. So it's again very sober understanding about this game. This is like, and this is what I learned in my first years, because I was always even crying about like, okay, why can I give money to everyone, or why this or another company is not performing well. And one very experienced investor Yrjö Ojasar, everybody knows him. He said that Jana is the biggest mistake what we do as investors if we keep good talent with the bad ideas. It's the biggest what you can do, the biggest damage what you can create for the whole ecosystem. That if we really, keep these zombies alive, no need, just kill them. This is harsh reality. I'm not so harsh yet, but I'm moving towards. And again, stay positive. I was today talking with one of my portfolio companies, and I said also that yes, this company is zombie for me. And but let's have an audit. What you have, what goes wrong, why you are already 5th or 6th year, and you're basically at the same level, some kind of 5,000 or 6,000 MRR for several years in a row. So it's really not good to keep it alive. And I love this, that let go of ego and trust the team.
Can I ask a question about the zombie startups?
Yes.
The ones that 5,000 MRR, what do you actually do with it? I mean, you just said, okay, let's end.
Yeah, so I asked, so I have prepared the big questionnaire with basically to audit the company. It's maybe audit. So what they have, because this is the B2B SaaS. So basically, it's absolutely abnormal to have such kind of situation. So I will go through all the sales procedures and how they manage the financials and what are the conversions from one step to another, and let's see.
Just like a one last look.
Basically, yeah. It's yeah.
But okay, if you find issues that seem common for you, and you know how to fix, but do you still devote extra more of your time and resources to actually help them fix them, or just let's say outlay the issues and let them fix them by themselves?
This is this is a super question because I don't know what I'm gonna do because I haven't done this research yet, so I don't know what it will bring up. I have some understandings, and of course it goes down to the founders and their dynamic, because there's one founder super creative, I want this feature, I want this feature, and yeah. Unfortunately, we have all these films, and I think that they are right. The only what you do with zombies, you kill them. I'm sorry.
How do you kill them? Explain.
It's basically you say that let's stop it. It's and then it's you're juridical already. It's bankruptcy or sanation, like in Estonia we have. So I think it's everywhere. It's basically stop. Because I also have this company, I was not agreed to invest. There's a longer story why we still are there, but I only allowed to give them a first small tranche from the investment. So it's also one of the possibility, how you give this last chance that, okay, this is for you to survive, but this is what you need to accomplish. If not, then we just face the reality that it's not feasible. That's all. And yeah. Yeah, please.
Additional question to that. So you say it's better, in your opinion, it's better to kill the company, but does it really matter? I know if they still remain a zombie, maybe something will someday come, pivot something or some kind of spin-off, or it just stays in your portfolio. It doesn't really, impact you that much.
It impacts you. It will impact you, believe me, because if you have your portfolio and you look at it, and nice evening in Riga, and you just go take coffee, and you remember these companies and and they will ask you the most of time and your mental health. Okay. This is always like this. Of course, I would say, I even maybe ask Gins, because I think that you have the most experience, in comparison with me.
In killing them? Yes.
Yes. How you approach this? Do you want to have these zombies in your portfolio?
I haven't killed any of the companies, but I fully agree with you because those nearly dying or zombie companies, they take, I would say, 90% of your time and problems, and usually these are quite, sorry to say, but stubborn people who just do not want to listen to you.
Yeah.
And they start listening to you only when it is too late. Then they say, yeah, you were right, maybe we changed something, but then you have lost quite a lot of money and time. I fully, completely agree with you.
So yeah, basically you as an investor, of course, you don't have authority or any right to kill the company. But this is when you stop yourself. That's all. And then already it will be the responsibility. I mean, it's always a responsibility of the founder, but you even give it like so-called like visibly out from your table. Yeah.
Not reasonably, if they have 5,000-6,000 monthly revenue, are they eating themselves? Do the founder do not see that they just eating the cash and then they will come to bankruptcy one day or another? So do they not want to stop themselves?
This is all these questions what you have in you know, this is all these questions which like buzzing in your mind when you're like normal person. But of course they are super in love with the company. You know, they have put so much of effort. I just killed recently my own company, and I would say that it hurts until now. It's like 2 years or a little bit less. It's like because you were not sleeping, you like you know, getting all this money together, getting all these pieces together, and it was bright moments and everything. So it's a lot of emotions. It's a lot of emotions. But as an investor, you love numbers.
Everything starts with cash flow.
Yeah, and this, yes. So I even asked today to be with me on the call one of our lead mentors, because I understood that, you know, I don't want to go into this emotional loop that, hey, I told you. But what I wanted to say that, and I'm very thankful that it was already mentioned, that this about that let go your ego and trust the founder. It is also works, of course, and that the team, if they want to succeed, they need to let go the ego and work for the company. And company is not about the super invention. It's not about bright, I don't know, features what they have created or something, or how many sleeping hours they have put into this company. But this is building a business. Like it starts with idea, sparkling and brightly with unicorns, you know, on the rainbow. But then it's just harsh work, discipline, nothing else. It's like all other fluffy vibes, and I'm sorry about all these snowflakes. We just have new employee who is like, oh my God, it's so complicated. It's like, yeah, we need to close the deals by the end of the year. Yoo-hoo. So yeah, it's my favorite quote is that all of the businesses were startup one day, but not all the startups become a business. So this is the truth. That's why you're building the portfolio, and you let go those ones who just eat your resources, because money is already gone. You forget about them, but eat your mental resources, which means that you do not have time and mental capacity to help those ones who will really thrive. So yeah, sometimes you see, like everybody, you also. When I talk about this value adding, I've seen those investors who just lose themselves by helping others, by helping the teams, and then no one is happy. No team, no investor, no LPs. So also think about yourself. So the boundaries is for the team and for you as well. So, but what we exactly can do and how we can understand, like, okay, what is our role? So basically, what everyone is expecting and is okay, that you open up your network. be aware, it's your reputation. So it's always about this. So that's why even if you want to make some introduction, this is your experience and this is your feelings. This is your this is how you become an investor, that you understand how match make it. Who are those ones in some kind of certain industries who will benefit from this team, and the team will benefit from this connection. Because you also don't want to spam your friends, you don't want to ruin your own reputation or your own relationship with some absolutely non-relevant interests. Then strategic advices, I would say, like, I have a bunch of the friends, like my favorite friends and the business angels who really have very good knowledge of some certain domain. So I invite them for dinner and I ask, talk, of course, everything. You need to talk about Seychelles and like all the trips and everything. And then you can ask like, hey, there is like one team and they're doing this, and what do you think? Because this is also like a lot of, before I can go and say something strategic for the team, I want to be sure, and I want to know also for me to validate some ideas. And as I work with clean tech a lot with energy, I fortunately, as I worked previously in my life in the energy sector, so I know the guys who build up Estonian or Baltic ecosystem of the energy production. So I would always ask them like what they think about one or another stuff. And I'm not very strong in marketing, so even if I think that their Google ads are not good, I will always like try to ask someone. Then governance and risks. This is what I mentioned already about, for example, scientific advisory board, or just some nice connections what I have in some industry, just to understand what are the regulations there now, like, because sometimes like team is so in love with the product, but for example regulations are not there yet, and then you like how you will navigate there and how you will grow, what is the strategy can be. It's again because your experience and your exposure is much bigger very often than founders. And then of course this just very simple, this resources and fundraising. This is what we do a lot in Beamline, and I do also, that it's very common from the business angels that after the business angel ticket you help the team to fundraise the next round, and you are basically the first validator of all the documents. Like, is this data room what they have prepared? Is it somehow understandable or fundable even? So this is also what you do, or can also help them with exits, with some ideas who could be these kind of partners. I think that is very boring, and this also. Yes, micromanagement, because we talked all of this stuff, and it's just like what I wanted to say here, that like there are some companies who create the board, like official. Even I don't know about Latvian legislation. In Estonia, if you make the LTD, you are not obliged to make a board. And if you're not very big, you don't do it, but you create it, which is like becomes like an advisory board, like officially, like juridically. But it is something like, and then it just depends, like, are you really responsible, or like have you any bounding contract with the company or something, or you basically the bunch of the mentors who just come together, I don't know, quarterly, and just reflect on one or another topic to help the team. So, and this advisory board is I would say, is very important for the pre-seed seed, because you help them to be better prepared for the next rounds. And basically, this is the moment when they are penetrating the markets and scaling and everything. So they're really like all over the place in their brains because it's a lot of what they need to do and think about. And sometimes the board just helps, you know, just to put the focus into some certain place. So this is like how you do this, these steps. And what I love to do is, I love always to say that stop of the R&D. This is the stop, and you just sell it. And if you don't sell it, then there's no value proposition. There's like, then the bunch of features is not the solution. This is like, I would say, especially in AI.
Actually, about the advisory board, is it usually initiated in pre-seed stage, especially? Is it usually initiated by the founder themselves that I want to create this, or should this be kind of put forward by the angels themselves?
Absolutely depends. It's, for example, in Beamland, because we have, I'm for the fundraising, and we have very good like experience in the sales and in legal. So our teams are very often like use us as the advisory board. They just say, oh, we need some help. But I have some teams who initiated that they want to have advisory board. But very often it's just like bunch of advisors or like bunch of active business angels who come together, and if they have some relationship already with the founders, they just have a coffee together and talk. So, and this is again about this, the boundaries, that the worst what you can do for yourself and for the team is micromanagement. You are investor, you are co-owner, but it's not your business. Your business is investing. And to create the business of the startup is the founder's task. So that's why it's the main what I wanted to say, that to be active doesn't mean that you're micromanaging. If you start to micromanage or start to do something really, then you turn into the service provider. As I said, that I turned into service provider because they needed really help very quickly. I love this topic, like ask thoughtful questions instead of giving advices or some orders or something. I'm very bad at this, because you might understand, I love to talk, so I was like, I know what we do, yeah, let's go. That's why when I know that there will be tough negotiations or like tough topic, I always invite someone who could take over, so I would not go straight forward with my own, I don't know, vision of how we should go. Because this is also, even if we think that we understand very well how this company should work, I got very good feedback yesterday. I have written the pitch for one of my teams. And they were so excited about it. But they were so upset that they could not deliver it on the stage because it wasn't their own. We were not have, so it's, and I think it's for everything. If you will say that this is how you should do your sales, or this is how the marketing should work in your company, this will be your understanding. And the founder should own this understanding. That's only after that they can deliver it. If it's like, you know, just put on them, they cannot. It's, I read somewhere a very nice idea that what is the potential what we see in people? There is no such essence as a potential. What we see is like what I would do on your place. This is how we think about the potential, that if I would be on your place, I would do like this, and it would be, you know, bright future. But again, so that's why it's, if you are good in asking questions, then you are a brilliant investor, that you just direct them. Yes.
At least for me, micromanagement, it kind of equals being like personally attached, too personally attached. Like, is it, I don't know, I know if it's a sports tech investor invest in a sports tech type of startup, is there some typical mistakes that investors make that leads them to being personally attached too much?
I think that as soon as I already told from the beginning, that we should stay normal people, normal persons, human beings, it means that of course we will go with emotions, of course, because we of course know all this theory, and I think that you were talking about it, that you only invest money what you don't need. But come on, this was your money. It's like you're still giving them it to someone. So you were still, and then you were giving them because you believed in this company, you believe in idea, you believed in founders, and so of course you will be emotionally attached. So it's again the discipline for yourself that you don't do it. It's like you give them space to develop and to grow and to learn. Complicated, I absolutely agree, especially with the zombies. You won't make it's like with, I have a teenager at home. Sometimes I just want to open his, skull and change something, and it's like, now it works. Unfortunately, what I can do is just to arrange film evening and to talk a little bit about some topic which I think is not right.
You got good startup idea, I guess. Fix the brain to startup idea, no?
This was, do you remember it was some very strange series about some superpower people. But before this, I don't remember them, who are flying and everything. Before Marvel, some kind of like another one. So and there was one guy who became the biggest evil. And his superpower was that he was a clock repair, like repairing all kind of mechanisms and clocks. And then he understood that if he looks into the mechanism, he immediately sees what is wrong. And then he started to repair the brains. So I'm a little bit, don't want to kill people yet. So yes, and this is the brilliant, empower founders to make decisions. This is how sometimes, again, this is so, I would say, so psychology about that you give them the space, you nurture them, you give them some ideas. What I love to do, I just give them, to avoid this kind of orders and micromanagement, I give them ideas like, please follow this guy and look how they're doing, or like, please read this kind of a book, or look how this company was doing, or analyze how one or another company, we're building up the attraction, just for them, to do something. Complicated, but yeah, we are still people, but we try. And of course, if you are already on the board, then you can, then you have some more ideas about how you do it. But I'm now on the board on one of the company, and I don't know, it's still I already see that another board members are more harsh, but I in this case, I attempt to just say, okay, it seems like you don't understand what is necessary to be done, so I just do it. Which is not right at all. But this is again how you can, so you don't, I try not to micromanage, but if I see that there is some kind of gap and that for me it's easy to do, then I just do it. It's like, when you get the deck, please Jana, can you give a feedback for the deck? And you open the deck and you think, okay, where was my wine? Then it's just for me it's easier just to make it a little bit better. So, do you have any extra questions? With this, I know there is a lot of psychology of being this passive or not passive.
You share these cases. You might have this several cases with the zombies.
I worked with the early stage, super early, from 2015. So in my personal portfolio, those ones whom I helped or invested somehow, is like more than 160 companies. So of course I have a lot of zombies. It's just statistically.
If I can ask, if you're looking back now, to the stage when you made this decision to invest in them, was it some signs or maybe some flags that time, what you recognize now?
Love this question, and I read. So to be a better person, I try to avoid this kind of thinking that I knew it. Because let's be honest, whatever happens like 5 years after, you will say that, but I have had this kind of a feeling, you know?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. It's like 5, so.
Like my grandma.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Just for you also to be more comfortable with yourself. You are doing the decision today with the experience, knowledge, information, I don't know, situation, geopolitical, economical, today. And you will try to make your best. And already tomorrow, you will become the whole day smarter. The whole world we know can change. So don't go into this space. No any flexes, schmexes. No. Of course I have them, but I try to. It will not, because you will not learn anything from this. So if you just think about there were some flexes, you don't learn. Only what you learn if you see, like if there is really something what you decided to neglect as the. I know, for example, my first personal business angel investment was super wrong, but I absolutely adore it because I really trusted the founder. I didn't know anything about the domain. It was logistics. Boom, zero. Until now, zero understanding what's going on there. But I really trusted, and I went with the crowd. And what I also done, the founder was, he is, fortunately, everything is fine with him. Okay, of course, the company is dead. So I invested too much as a first ticket. I assumed that he is much older than me, much smarter than me. I haven't done my research as like ask someone who is somehow connected with logistics, is it possible today? Because they crashed with the, as you might assume, so it was 2015, it was a product for digital, like to digitize the logistics. When faxes were like the main point everywhere, or like in the best scenario, the normality was just the paper and put like delivered with the person. So, and it crashed very quickly. But this is what I learned, that if I invest, I today do my best to understand where I'm investing and what are the risks. And then I assess, like, do I agree with this kind of risks or not? No flexes. Yes?
No question, but can you share your experience with big conflicts with founders? Probably you had some conflicts, so maybe there are situations when it ended up good and there are situations when they ended up bad.
Or conflicts with other investors.
You're a friendly person, no conflict.
Latvians just love conflict.
And of course, I would love to have a conflict like between Estonians and Latvians. Nah. I don't want to say that I don't have a conflict. I think that I really don't, because I come so early that then company is moving their own way. Like they ask for my help. I do some communication or something. What I have, of course, like some my first fund was Prototron, which is basically we gave like up to 35K. And of course, like when it was already like 5 years or something, then the company became very huge. They just ignored me then because I was some kind of girly somewhere. When they already, were operating in millions, then of course, like my personality or reputation or experience was zero for them. So it's not a conflict, they just ignored. But other than that, I don't have yet. I have all other conflicts. Don't take me that I'm, no, no, I do have, but they are, mainly is like, if I think about it, mainly it comes about the values, like how you want to proceed. Like when I, for example, change the position or something, then about the values that I don't want, I'm not agreeing with the strategy. So this is like, for me, the operations are like sad, I do understand, but it's very often all the operational problems and challenges you basically, either you can solve them with coffee or with wine. Or you cannot solve them. That's all. And then you just survive. And then it's like, it will go away. But the strategies or this kind of, the higher understanding of like how or upon what you make a decision, this is what will not change. And you cannot walk it through. If you are different, then you cannot work together. That's all. So, but the tasks, do we have time? No, why not? People are still here.
No, okay, we can try. We can try.
So, challenging you, guys. This is what I've done the first time ever this summer, and I really liked it because, as you understand, I love to be on stage. But I pitched my team in front of other investors. I know that you were working through. I thought about this task that I wanted you to pitch yourself. That you, as an investor, that you can see some kind of a problem, that you know how to solve it, not only with your money, but with your connections, plus some, unfair advantage. So something like, I don't know, these kind of people because, I don't know, you are diving with them. And then you describe where and how you invest and why. That, for example, I invest in Baltics because I know these people, or I know these regulations, or I know this or that. Then your price, so how much you can give, and call to action, and your contact. So basically the pitch. So for example, for me, I love energy. So I see the problem that the energy companies, the energy startups face the problem with the first pilots. And my solution is that I know personally basically Estonian energy, Latvian energy, Lithuanian energy stakeholders. So I can help. And my unfair advantage is I talk too much. So I talk to death all of the stakeholders. And my market is like geography. Geography is Baltics, because this is where I have the most connections. The main is energy. I built the energy companies and the infrastructure myself. My ticket is starting from 5,000, or I go with Beamline ticket with a 60,000, or I can go with the syndicate, which is up to 200. And my call to action, just come to Beamline and let's work together. Jana from Beamline. Boom. So anyone wants to try? It will help you to understand like why are you on Earth decided to invest. So
what was the problem? What you told them that?
Okay, now we are in this situation. You are like a founder. I say like, love your problem, don't love your solution.
Yeah, problem. So, in case if you want to attract funding from me, yes, I can provide it. So it's solution.
unfair advantage in respect of me. I'm a lawyer, so I have spent more than 20 years in this area of business. And I have built during the time quite a lot of connections. And in fact, not only in Latvia, but also in many countries abroad. So what I can provide is not only quite a few contacts in Latvia in different areas, but also, for example, in the United States, so which is great for many startups. And these contacts are pretty high level. It's not like just friends in diving. So this is something of value. Yes, my geography and market is Baltic states. And there is no specific industry. I just want, like at LatBAN, I'm going for Baltic related founders, both MarketDroid, for example, and others, Lithuania and Estonia. And the price is 3x in 3 years. So it's virtually like 100% per year. And yes, and my contacts are here.
Are there any other takers that want to try and kind of pitch their own expertise, their domain, the thinking behind?
Because this is why it's really important for you to train and be in front of the mirror at least, or like with Jana or with Emil, is then you better understand what is the strategy for you. Then you better will understand what will drive your decisions. Then you will not have so many of regrets, but you will understand that at that certain moment it was your best possible decision, and you just stick to it. Because and of course, I love this situation when you fight for the startup. It's like, it's what drives me, that I really wanted to have this kind of company, for example, in my portfolio. And I'm really working on it, that I really pitch myself and I create some ideas like, okay, let's do like this and let's do like this. And I think this is just to add some fun into life. But anyway, if you can pitch, of course, when we are drinking coffee. This is my email, so you are welcome to write to me and to come to Tallinn, and we will have the startup day very soon, and maybe you can catch up on Slash. So I will be very happy to answer all your questions and listen to your pitches.
All right, round of applause.
Thank you.
And here's a small goodie bag for you
Oh.
as well.